Today is the last day of 2024 to usher in a new year. Keith and I wanted to do a fun and informative video highlighting some strategies to boost your metabolism. Some are more pleasant than others. Which ones are you willing to do? Join us to find out. All right, we are going to talk about cold therapy to start. Cold therapy can activate brown fat, which burns energy just to produce heat, which will give you a metabolic boost. It also can decrease inflammation and increase your mood. Are you willing to do cold therapy?
Yes.
Yes, I am not.
Right.
Tried it, didn't like it, but you do it.
Right.
Regular.
So you can do a cold shower. You can actually do immersion therapy. What I do is a cold shower, less than 70 degrees, 3 to 4 times a week, and I stay in it for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, and we actually did a full video on this. We will point you to that video if you want to see more on how we do it and the research that we based it off of. So let's move on to what I think is a more pleasant one: heat therapy.
Saunas and hot baths constitute heat therapy, and they can increase metabolism by slightly raising your metabolic rate through an elevated heart rate, sweating, and they're generally recognized as safe.
And I'm totally on board with heat therapy. I will be honest, I don't really do it. We don't have access to a sauna. I mean, I have access to a hot bath, but I don't tend to do it. It does sound wonderful. And generally speaking, you want to start slow to make sure that you're going to be okay. 15 to 20 minutes in a hot bath or a sauna is where you want to start if you're going to do it for a metabolic effect.
And it is a bit of a time commitment, but you do have to be smart with it. You need to make sure that you're hydrated. And both cold and heat therapy can put a little stress on your heart. So if you have any known issues, you do need to talk to your physician. So next we want to talk about resistance training. So this is building muscle through lifting weights or doing some other type of resistant thing, bands or whatever you want to do. Anytime you're building muscle, you're going to be increasing your resting metabolic rate, which it basically means that your metabolism is up. And you want as much muscle as you can carry. It is a bigger engine. It's going to burn more calories even while you're sleeping.
Exactly it, right? You're building a bigger engine, so you're going to be utilizing more calories just simply at rest. You're willing to do it? So am I. Not always thrilled to have to do it, but you're thrilled with the results afterwards. How do you typically do resistance training?
So I've been, even since my late teens, 20s, I've been going to the gym and lifting and doing different things. So it's just become kind of part of my life.
Yeah. I could say the same. I've followed probably the Body for Life. I think it was by Bill Phillips. 20 years plus. I mean, that general workout routine is what I have followed. And another part of it that I like is that it incorporates our next metabolic booster, which is interval training. Interval training, or high intensity interval training, is the practice of switching between periods of high intensity and rest in a concentrated period of time, usually about 20 minutes for a high intensity interval training. And what this will do is it really stimulates your calorie burn during the exercise and afterwards. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Yes. And I am as well. Like I said, it's part of the Body for Life program that I will often do. A HIIT training is, like I said, typically about 20 minutes, and you're changing the intensity. What I do is I do a short warm up, and then I will just increase my intensity for, like, I'll be on the treadmill, for instance, and I'll increase the intensity 1 minute at a time and then drop back down and do that for a few cycles. There's also a version of intensity training called re-HIIT. And this I did a video on, which I'll point to. This is actually a shortened version. So it is actually just a 10-minute program with 2 20-second high intensity intervals in that 10-minute span. So I will get on the treadmill, walk, get off. I'll do kettlebell swings and get back on, and a few minutes later do kettlebell swings again. Like I said, I will point you to that. Rehit, I do enjoy when I am very busy and just don't have the time. Instead of doing nothing, I will do a rehit. So we'll point you to that.
All right, our next metabolism booster is sleep hygiene. So this is something that most people don't give a whole lot of weight to, but poor sleep can activate cortisol increases. It can decrease some of the hormones that affect the way that you process calories. The cortisol is going to increase, different levels, increase metabolic syndrome to some degree. And these things are all going to eventually lead to some weight gain.
Yeah. And so are we willing to add sleep?
Yes.
This is something that we didn't pay attention to when we were first married, but now we do. And there are some sweet spots. I did a video on this as well. We will point you to it, but let me give you some of the highlights. So the best sleeping temperature falls between 60 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which is chilly. We tend to be right at the 68 mark.
That's good, though.
Yeah. You want to stop eating 3 hours before bed so your body is done with digestion. Make your bedroom as dark as possible. If you are reading at night, blue light glasses will help quite a bit. Drown out the sound with a fan or white noise, and develop a sleeping hygiene routine. It is very beneficial for you to go to bed about the same hour at night and wake up at the same hour in the morning, regardless if it's a weekday or a weekend.
So our next metabolism booster is boosting protein intake. Mm-hmm. So protein intake, which higher protein increases your satiety. Higher protein intake also helps preserve lean mass. It also takes a little bit more calories to burn, which is a thermogenic effect. All those things are going to help increase your metabolism.
Yep.
And you can do that fairly easily with lean meats, poultry, eggs, dairy, all those things.
Yep. Are we willing to increase our protein intake?
Yes.
Yes, we are. And we've done this since we've gotten older, which it is important for helping to preserve muscle as we age. But to give you an idea, I think a lot of people don't have a perspective of what adding more protein means. Most people throughout their normal day get 15% of their calories from protein. If you want to boost your protein intake, you want to be aiming for more like 25% to 30%. To give you an idea of what that looks like, if you currently eat 1,500 calories a day, 15% of your calories from protein would be 56 grams of protein. If you want to boost that to 25%, all you would need is 4 ounces of chicken, which is about 35 grams of protein. So that is all you need to go from 15% of your daily diet from protein calories to 25%. And I just bring that up because I think a lot of people don't have that perspective in mind. And the thing with eating healthy is, there's two-way street, right? There's what to add to your diet and what you need to subtract. One of the worst things for your metabolism is added sugar, and it is everywhere. If you have struggled with getting sugar out of your diet or just limiting it, I encourage you to get my book, Zero Sugar 1 Month. Keith was on my channel a year ago to help me introduce it. Now that it is turning 1 year old, we decided to bring back the incentive to have you go pick up a copy at Amazon. It is my low-carb comfort food recipe collection. It was really popular last time, so we are reopening it. Today is the last day of 2024. If you order the book by Saturday, January 4th of 2025, you can get those recipes from me for free, and I will put all the details in the description area for you.
And next on our list of metabolism boosters is drinking coffee, specifically caffeinated coffee.
Yeah.
It is the caffeine in coffee that is going to give you the metabolism boost. It increases your metabolic rate, and that is going to burn more calories. You can also get the same effect from green tea, which also contains caffeine and also some polyphenols.
And coffee has polyphenols as well. Right. I had done a video on coffee and the surprising benefits of it. So are we willing to drink coffee? And the answer to that would be yes. Yeah, and green tea. Yeah. But we have no problem with drinking coffee. According to research, consuming up to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day, which would be what you'd get in about 32 ounces of coffee, is is regarded as safe. So that just gives you an idea of how much coffee you can have.
A quart sounds good.
And our 8th metabolic booster strategy is drinking water in the morning. By drinking 2 cups of water within a 5-minute period early in the morning, you can boost your metabolism. We had done a video on this. It's based on a study where they actually had increased energy expenditure by 24% over the course of 60 minutes after ingestion. It is just a little bit of a boost. I'm willing to do it.
I'm willing to do it.
I find that it really helps me, mentally, if not anything. I feel like it is the practice of doing it kind of gets me set for the day. I think that's probably been the most benefit that I've taken from it. I just feel like I'm doing something for my metabolism early in the day. It just kind of sets the pattern for it.
Yep. And the water does not have to be ice cold. Room temperature water is just fine.
Yep. All right. So there you have it. Which of these 8 metabolic boosters are you willing to do? Let us know in the comments below. There was cold therapy, hot therapy, resistance training, interval training, sleep therapy or sleep hygiene, boosting your protein intake, drinking coffee, and drinking 2 cups of water first thing in the morning. I will leave links to the videos that I mentioned if you want to explore these things better. And I will also leave a link where you can get my low-carb comfort food recipes for free when you order my book, Zero Sugar 1 Month. All of that is for you in the description or more area below the video.
Yep. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day and have a great new year.
Absolutely.